It's 3 a.m., and you're staring at the ceiling. Nothing bad happened today. Nothing dramatic. But there's this one sentence someone said hours ago, and for some reason your brain just will not let it go. Maybe it was a coworker who gave you a weird look. Maybe it was a text that just said K. Maybe it was your friend who seemed a little off when you saw them. And now you're building an entire case file about what you did wrong. And here's the messed up part. 10 people could tell you that you're great today and you'll forget it by dinner. But one person hesitates or seems a little distant, and that's the only voice playing on repeat in your head. If that sounds like you, I want to stop you right there. Because I don't think you're just insecure. And I don't just mean you care what people think. Everyone does that. I mean you care more than most people. It hits harder, it stays longer, and it runs your whole day sometimes. There's a reason for that. And I don't think you've ever actually had it explained to you. So let's get into it. Think about how much of your day is quietly spent managing what other people think of you, checking how someone reacted after you said something, rereading a text 3 times before you send it, then rereading it again after, replaying a conversation from 5 hours ago, picking it apart line by line, wanting people to like you, even people you don't particularly like back. Why does someone else's opinion get to have this much control over your entire mood? Wait, that's kind of me. Now, part of this is just being human. There's a concept in psychology called the Sociometer Theory, and the short version is your self-esteem works kind of like a fuel gauge, except instead of measuring gas, it's constantly measuring how accepted you are by the people around you. Thousands of years ago, getting kicked out of the group wasn't just embarrassing. It was dangerous. No protection, no food sharing, no safety in numbers. So your brain never really got the memo that things changed. It still treats being disliked as a threat, filed in the same category as being hungry or being unsafe. So yeah, everyone's wired to care a little. That part's universal. But that's not the real question, is it? The real question is why it feels so much bigger for you than it seems to for other people. And that's not really biology anymore. That's biology, plus what happened to you. Because when you're a kid, you don't decide what makes you valuable. You learn it. If attention showed up when you achieved something and disappeared when you didn't. If praise came when you were useful, easy, quiet, impressive. If affection could vanish the second you disappointed someone, and you never knew exactly why. Part of you learned a dangerous equation way before you had the words for it. Being accepted means I'm safe. Being rejected means something is wrong with me. That's not a lesson you sat down and studied. Nobody said it to you directly, but your nervous system absorbed it anyway, the same way you learned to walk without anyone explaining the physics of it. And here's what that does to you. Once your safety depends on how someone else is feeling about you don't just relax and hope for the best. You start studying people. You become an expert in reading rooms. You notice a shift in someone's tone before they've even finished the sentence. You clock a slightly delayed reply, and your stomach drops a little. You catch a flicker on someone's face that they don't even know they made, and you build a whole theory around it. Because somewhere under all of it, your brain is running one question on a loop. Am I still okay here? Am I still safe with this person? And it's asking that question about basically everyone, all the time, without you ever consciously deciding to. That's exhausting. And it's not overthinking, not really. It's your brain doing exactly the job it thinks it's supposed to be doing. So now,
Fast forward to your adult life.
this is where it actually shows up. You say yes when you want to say no. You rehearse conversations in your head before they happen, and after they happen. You avoid conflict like it's physically dangerous because in some way, to you, it is. You need a little bit of reassurance before you can fully relax. You're a perfectionist, not because you love perfection, but because good enough has never actually felt safe. And here's the twist most people miss. You're not actually chasing approval. You're avoiding rejection. Those sound similar, but they are not the same thing. One is about wanting something good, the other is about running from something that feels like pain. Which brings us to the part that actually connects all of this. Scientists have looked at what happens inside the brain during social rejection, and this is wild. The same regions that light up when your body experiences physical pain also light up when you experience social rejection. Your brain, on some level, doesn't fully separate a broken heart from a broken bone. So when you say a comment, hurt, that's not just a dramatic way of talking. Your brain is quite literally treating it like an injury. That's why one negative comment can outweigh 100 good ones. Pain gets the front row seat. It always has, because your brain thinks it's protecting you. Yeah, Okay, that's definitely me. So, where does that leave you? Maybe the goal was never learning how to stop caring what people think. Maybe the goal is learning that your worth was never supposed to depend on their verdict in the first place. If any part of this video felt a little too accurate, drop one word in the comments, seen. Not for me. For the version of you that's been carrying this pattern around for years without ever knowing where it actually came from. And if you want to keep understanding the why behind the things you do, stick around. This is exactly what we do here.